So I found this post on the Pokey Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all because here's somebody has decided to invest into a large amount of Destined Rivals booster boxes, specifically 100 booster boxes. So I wanted to give my opinions about this person's investing decision to buy this large amount, how much they paid for each, and so on. So, unfortunately, I do not have this large of amount of Destined Rivals booster boxes. I truly wish I did because this is going to be one of, if not the best performing booster boxes in the Scarlet and Violet era long term. I even mean short term, it's up there, right? But I only have 5 of these. And the reason why I only have 5 of these is because coming out the gate, Destined Rivals was already pretty expensive. I was able to buy 5 at an average cost of $220. I honestly should have bought more in hindsight, but paying $220 for 5 boxes already seemed kind of crazy. And people did call me crazy, but I was like, you know what? In the case that these somehow keep going up after being released, and possibly if they never drop down below to what I paid at $220, I would at least have something and not nothing, right? Because I know there are a lot of people that didn't buy a single box, and I don't blame those people for not buying anything because it came out the gate pre-ordering for like $270. I was able to find a few cheaper places. I totally understand that some people didn't buy, and I don't blame them. But someone here has decided to buy a large amount, and we'll see what their cost is, and I'll tell you guys what I think about this. But I truly wish I did have this large of amount, but I didn't decide to buy a large amount at that price point. So you can see here, here's the picture of all the booster boxes. They have a lot of cases here. They have, I believe, 15 and 10 loose ones, and they have some other stuff. And let's just read the post and we'll go to the pictures. Proud to say that I hit 100 booster boxes. Ever since I saw the post of 100 Fusion Strike boxes, I had that goal with Destined Rivals. Here is my breakdown of the inventory. So before I read this, I remember making a video showing you guys that one post where somebody had like 100 booster boxes of Fusion Strike under their bed. That was pretty crazy. So booster box cases, 15 at $16.40 for each case, and they bought the 10 loose boxes at $250. Okay, so that's their cost. You can see it's pretty much what market was when it came out. And they have a few other things. They talk about 3-pack blisters, sleeve blisters, booster bundles. Honestly, these don't really matter as much. We're talking about the booster boxes here. So this isn't like a crazy deal. I even got it cheaper, right? I was able to find a few places cheaper, but they basically paid full market. You could have bought these at, pretty easily at all these prices in the first like couple months. Obviously now it's a bit of a different story. Let's just see how much they have paid on average cost for all these, because they have 15 cases, which is 90 boxes, and they have 10 loose boxes. So I did the math, right? I multiplied the 15 times the price of each booster box case, and then I added $2,500 because there's 10 boxes at $2,500, and I just divide it by 100. It comes out to $271 a booster box. So obviously, maybe not the best price point to enter at, I would say. I think that's sort of agreeable, right? That $271 probably isn't the best price to be buying this at. Like I said, I was able to get mine at $220, but it is what it is, right? They paid, a little bit over market, but they did buy in cases, so you could maybe argue that they had to pay a case premium, which there actually is already a case premium for these booster boxes, which is kind of insane to see, which I am showing an example here. This is the lowest case that I was able to find from eBay and TCG Player. This is the lowest listing, $20.74. It is by a seemingly reputable seller. If you do the math on that booster box wise, it's $345. And like I said, this is the cheapest booster box case listing I'm able to find. It's at $345. So you could argue that this number maybe is not that accurate because cases are going for a slight premium right now. But that is the cost per booster box. $271. So what do I think about this play? Buying an average cost, obviously there's cases, but just to make it simple, each booster box at $271. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, I truly believe this, set will be one of, if not the top performing set in the Scarlet and Violet era. 271, I didn't recommend investing Destined Rivals booster boxes at 250, and I wasn't doing it myself. I was even hesitant to buy them at like 220, but I bought a few, right? So obviously, do I think buying at this price point is the best thing ever? No, it's not the best thing ever, but here's the thing, right? If you don't care to play the timing game or what if Pokemon prints this in the ground? If you don't want to play that game and this person seemingly just buy everything at release, right? 271 in the long term, I'm talking about when this goes out of print plus some years. 271 for pretty much gonna most likely be the top performing main set in the Scarlet and Violet era is not terrible, right? But you do have to think about, yes, this set literally just came out. Prismatic Evolutions, for example, has gotten multiple restocks, reprints after coming out, dropped the prices a bit for a little bit, right? Destined Rivals just came out a couple months ago. We haven't gotten a single restock, so we haven't seen the supply come out on the market yet to see what Pokemon is going to do with this set. At this point, it does seem unlikely that things will get printed into the ground, but that is up in the air, right? And these booster boxes being this expensive, who knows? Maybe Pokemon will print more. It's all guessing. But like I said, if you don't want to play that game, then buying at this price point for the long term isn't that bad. But if I was this person, you're going to have to accept the fact that, if reprints come and prices drop to basically your cost or maybe slightly under, you're going to just have to hold it out, right? And that's the biggest, I guess, risk buying at this price point is possibly a reprint comes and it gets to your cost and you could have said you wasted all that time buying these when you could have bought later, but you don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? But that's your risk, really, is just a reprint comes and it comes down to your cost and you held that entire time and you didn't see any appreciation technically, right? Because right now you have seen it, right? Now the booster boxes are like $310 or whatever, so you're up like $40 on each booster box. But if it gets reprinted, goes down your cost, then you're back to zero. But if you're not playing the timing game, it is what it is. And if there is some sort of I guess world where these get printed pretty heavily and these drop below this person's cost, just dollar cost average and buy more. If that was this person, right? But I think in the long term, this isn't the worst play, but definitely I didn't recommend buying at this price point at 271, but you wait until this goes out of print. Yeah, it'll probably be fine, but it's just the fact we haven't seen a single reprint yet, so we don't know what it's going to really be like. But based on history, booster boxes in the Scarlet and Violet era really have not gotten printed into the ground. So if I was this person, 271 doesn't sound that great right now, but when it goes out of print, maybe it will. But it is relatively high to be paying this much, I would say, because like I said, I never recommended buying this at 250. Even for me, at 220, I wasn't buying a large amount. So it's kind of iffy on this. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a bad play? Or do you think in this person's situation and in the long term, this would be a good play? Or do you think they maybe shouldn't have bought as much at this price point? Maybe bought half or quarter of the amount and maybe waited a little bit to see what the next reprint would do or restock. But it could really go a lot of ways because this set has been extremely strong since being released. But buying at 271 a booster box this early on could be a little bit controversial. Let's just read some of the comments and we'll be done. Very impressive, but how did you end up with so many quantity of everything else but one lonely booster? They found it at Target. Okay. Gonna need a follow-up post in 4 years would be awesome. If they follow the 10-year rule from the sidebar, should be good money. I guess there's some rules with this subreddit and stuff they make up. That's for like any sealed product. You buy anything now and wait 10 years, yeah, it's gonna probably be more expensive than now. Okay. I think in 4 to 5 years, you're gonna be sitting on a small fortune. Good play in my opinion. Yeah, 4 or 5 years when it goes out of print and a few years after it goes out of print, it's not going to be seen to be bad, but obviously it's like, okay, buying this high this early, is there a possibility that maybe it goes, below your cost or sits at your cost for a while? It's up for debate, but it does seem like at this point, Pokemon has to print so many things to even drop prices. Like it's, that's why I would say buying at this price point isn't the worst thing ever, but you are having that risk, right? If Pokemon does decide to print this set heavily, but history has shown that really in Scarlet and Violet, we haven't really seen anything get reprinted to the point of really going down a lot. How do you even find these without overpaying on eBay or someplace? And I saw this comment, which is like the dumbest comment ever. This person literally says, probably used a bot to steal from everyone else. This person paid an average cost of $271 per booster box. What kind of bot are they using? Their hands? Is that a bot? Like, this was readily available to buy at $245, $250 for like a month or two. So I don't know what this person is on, but this person did not use any bots, because if they did, they would be buying at MSRP. But no. This person says he bought locally for cheaper or on their sites. Some sites had them up for a couple weeks for around $1,500. Hills Wholesale Gaming has had them for $1,370. Post price above MSRP automatically assumes botting. Probably should think before commenting. Yeah, I don't know what this person's on. And what's funny is that they got more upvotes than the actual comment, because all the people that just see bots and somebody accusing this person using bots, I mean, those types of people just go crazy, right? How do you go about acquiring so many? Looking online or locally. Everything is well over MSRP though. You need to tap in with distributor. People who comment these is like, it's obvious they don't know anything, right? Oh, it's just so easy. Let's get a distributor. Even if you do get one, are you gonna get product? I don't understand people who comment stuff like this. And here I am trying to buy one at retail. I mean, yeah, this person didn't even pay retail, so this is so risky. Nobody is opening those. Oh, really? Nobody's opening these. Okay. Everybody are keeping them sealed, says who. And not only for Destined Rivals, for every set since 151. Price of singles are artificially high. All the stuff we hear, right? Everyone's just holding on to everything, and everything's going to crash. We all know this, right? I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I think a lot of people are ripping, keeping it sealed, especially now ripping shippers. I respect the hustle, but this is just something else, man. There's no way people can keep getting away with Pokemon not having any downside at all. Greed is insane. Well, with every investment comes risk. It's the same for housing market, stock market, businesses. Pokemon's a good track record. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm in the space, right? So what do you guys think? Do you think this person should have done this, or do you think this is really risky? It's really hard to say, because like I said, I did not really ever really advise buying at 250 even, and they paid 271. But long term, if they're going to hold, it'll be fine. But, you know, if you do want to play the market a little bit, and, you know, you maybe want to see how reprints are, this may be a little bit high of a purchase, but that's just my opinion. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.